Alright, let's keep going. I think I'm gonna watch this video here. And I think I'm gonna spend 2 more hours here today. Let's see. Oh, this is not in English. I already saw this.
Hey, how's it going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a module reloading in Python. So if you're using Python editors like PyCharm or Microsoft Visual Studio or even Visual Studio Code, you can actually execute just the select Python code. So let me give an example. And here, let me do a print x and the print y. If I just highlight print x and right click, and if I select run selection line in Python terminal, I can actually just execute print y by itself. Now imagine you are working on a Python program, and in your Python program, you're actually importing different functions or classes from other Python files. So for example, here are two Python scripts. So here I have demo.py, and here I have a Python script functions.py. And inside the functions.py file, I have a function called sumNumbers function. And this function has two parameters, x and y. And using this function, we'll return the aggregation of x and y. So here in my demo.py file, and assuming I'm using the sum numbers to do some analysis, and here let me import the sum numbers function first. Now if I do print sum numbers, and let me do 10 and 20, and if I just run this line by itself, and that's going to return the result with 30. Now let's say there's a new requirement, and I need to add one more parameter. So let's name this parameter z, and we'll return the value with x plus y plus z. And let me save the functions.py file. Now if I try to re-import the sum numbers function, and if I try to add a new value to my sum numbers function, and I should expect the result will return 60. Now if I run, we'll do is still restart the server or terminal, so like kill the terminal and start everything from scratch. And for me, that's a little bit time consuming. And if you have 1,000 lines of code or 2,000 lines of code, then it will be cumbersome to execute everything from scratch again. And that's when reloading a module in Python script becomes super handy. So to perform a module reloading, and we can use a library called import lib. So from the import lib, I need to re-import the functions. Line 6 to line 9. And if I just run these 4 lines, and here if you see this message right here, module followed by the module name and followed by the file path, and that means you have successfully reloaded the module. Now if I go back to this print function, now if I rerun this line, and that's going to return the value of 60. Alright guys, so this is everything I have to share in this video, and hopefully you guys found the information useful. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.
So I have an idea here. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Let's see, almost not. So I'm gonna put module. I'm gonna make main, this main. So def main equals this. Then I'm gonna get the whole function here. Oh, actually, it's better to not mess up this file. It's better to create another one so I don't screw this one up. So this is Vivex and it's on module finder. Oh, the main is the one. I'm gonna rename this to debug finder. Oh, Oh no. But I guess this is a different May, not why. I mean, whatever. I'm not gonna delete them. It's better I should not risk doing because it doesn't matter that much. Module. I'm gonna call it Finder or lack of creativity. Then I'm gonna paste this stuff here. But now it's giving me this problem again. Let me see if it runs first. If it runs. Nice. Apparently it runs. Hey man, what's up? I figured out how to do the import for Sklearn. But I'm not sure if it's the best way. Let me see here. Yeah, let me show you. So this is the photo I get. And then I just put it on a try and accept block. Here. And the line that it wasn't working. So I put try accept here. So whenever he hits the circular import, I think he skips this one. But then I'm not sure if this is the best solution because I might be missing some modules. And the other thing that I noticed, and I'm not sure as well, is that it's not quite exactly what I wanted to do because it seems like there's a bunch of imports that are missing. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I have an idea of what to do now. I guess in external libraries here. That will stop at the first error, meaning any number of imports will be missed. No, so it doesn't work. Any number of imports will be missed. Well, at least now I know where the thing is, the error is. I'm pretty sure that is on circular imports that is giving me a problem and on asynchronous imports. But I'm not exactly sure why. I suspect it's because there's a difference between the path of the import finder, the import lib from Python, the way that it loads and the sequence. So I assume that in circular imports, it tries to load something that it doesn't exist yet and then gives that mistake. I guess that's what's happening. But the issue here is that I don't think the ones that are working also are doing what I envision it to do. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm thinking about doing here. Let me find the file first. SD. Where is this file? Okay, here. So I did this file here that's a copy of your file. Then I'm gonna put this in a main function, and I'm gonna do if name equals main. Then instead of the inputs, I'm gonna put the arguments for the function on main. So instead of module, I'm gonna put an argument named module. Instead of mode, I'm gonna put an argument for mode. And then I'm not gonna take this off. Then I'm gonna loop through this sklearn file, and I'm gonna activate this function for each of the files. And then I'm gonna try to see if I can make a connection between all these files, because each file is gonna give a different graph of the connection of all the libraries. Then I can do a connection of that Sklearn from all these files, if that makes sense. So it would kind of be like your request thing, but instead of request here, it would be sklearn. Then there would be an arrow to each folder that contains the library. And for every one of these folders would be the imports of each one. It would be a graph similar to this, but for the folders. And then maybe connect the common folders that exist, the common imports that exist between different libraries later. So if one folder imports NumPy and another imports NumPy as well, then create an arrow to connect the two. But I'm not sure if it's gonna work. Because I feel that for some reason this way that the file was done is not catching every import, or maybe the connection not the right way, but the way that I envision it should be. But I'm not really sure if that's the case or not. Module modes. So what do you think about that? I think it's gonna work. Another thing that I'm unsure about is this class here inside of the main function. I never did this, so I'm not sure if it's gonna give me a mistake here. Module. Yes, it's gonna be equal to np string equals number. It's gonna be 0. Oh, then I need to get the relative path. Absolute path. Sklearn module. I don't know if that's the best name, but whatever. Then I have to search for how to loop. What's up? Peep show requests. But can you do this on a Python script? Nah, I don't think it's the same thing, man. I think the stuff you did is way better. It shows a lot more information. I need to put Python in the thing. Python. It won't be as specific as mode 1, but it should be the same as mode 0. Hmm. Oops. This directory path is of all the files and directory of the specified paths. And file name. Now I have to change this. And I probably can put here package name or module name equals a scalar. Then here I can do the nav module name. Oops. No, it doesn't work. So the path is off. So let me try like this. Doesn't work. Maybe I should be using OS to find the path, but I'm not used to that. You can get it manually. On the site packages. Yeah, but this was the path I was using before. And it wasn't working. So maybe I should put this. Why doesn't this work? probably not gonna work like this. Oh, so now it shows. Huh, interesting. Let me try again. So I had to go one level up. Nice, it shows now. Base by. Oh yeah, now I have to figure out the inputs as well. Dot render format equals inputs output format. Equals format. And then I'm gonna put it here. Format. Let me see if it works here. Yeah. Now let's see what happens. Just want to make a website where you can just input a module name and get the graph. The problem is that pip install is not safe. If a evil package is installed, they can damage my PC. Yes. Website where you can just input a module name and get the graph. Module name and get the graph. But the graph, you made it before, right? Let me call the finder.main. The function is gonna be module name. The mode is gonna be 0, and the thing is gonna be PNG. Oh yeah, I forgot to put it here. Oh, it's format. Format. Oh, it's PNG. Oh, I'm gonna put it an empty string. Yeah. Because pip runs a Python script defined by the module install setup.py. But I think we already have the tools to build the website. You know how to do the graph with the JS, HTML. Yeah, but now, yeah, we're talking about the backend, right? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure how this works. Did it work, this thing? It didn't work. Hmm. In the perfect world, I would allow them to input any package, I install it, and do my graph. We don't live in a perfect world, bro. And then you'd have to store all the packages as well. Allow them to input any package. Well, one thing you can do is just, obviously it's not the best solution, but it's a suboptimal solution, but it might work. Is just make a library, solve it yourself, make the graph yourself, and then make a library with the graphs made, you know. So you don't even need to do any code for them. You just make all the graphs and make a database of all the graphs, and then make it available by a search key word. Seems like it's a lot easier. And then you can build a script to generate a graph for every possible library. You know? Then you're gonna have a database of all the graphs. But I'm not sure how useful that will be, because one, things evolve and then more packages and libraries get added, and two, people are gonna make the packages available anyway, because they're gonna download the images and then put it on some website. So I don't know. This does look really good. Not gonna lie. Oh, it's this one. Maybe if I put time.sleep here, it's gonna work. 10 seconds. Oh, the problem is the name. It's overriding the thing each time. Oh, it's the module. The module is always the same. Oh no. Yeah, it's always the same. That's the problem. Should be file name here. Let's see what happens here. No module name cluster. Let me break this down. And it's still saving the same thing. Module name dot file name. See if this works. It's probably not gonna work again. Oh, so I didn't do as well the number 1 and number 2 there. Just see if it shows more information. Oops. Damn, son. Now it shows everything. As Sklearn starts here, then goes everywhere. And the arrow is where it comes from. Job memory. This is really nice. So you use a SciPy a lot. It's very important, apparently. And this stuff is all from SciPy. But I still can't see the other file names here. There's check builds, config. The true and see if it shows up anything. And it still doesn't show the other modules, other files. Config check build. I guess check build is kind of like the other files. Maybe. But this is really nice. You can see the scope of execution here. And SciPy seems to be the main library that sklearn uses. And the other ones are joblib and multiprocessing. Let me think more. Oh yeah, I was gonna see what the colors mean again. Let's see here there's a bunch of red. No yellows. No, so there's a nodes color red here. Oh yeah, so the other thing I was gonna do is try to run that script for these files here. So pre-processing is the first one that comes to mind. Oh, so it works. Let me see if it outputs anything. Oh, so it does work. And it just showed the same graph for the Sklearn. No, it's slightly different, actually. Pretty much the same functions, but it's slightly different. But the question is, how can I put that in the name? And how can I make the file save to a different name every time? So maybe if instead of putting the thing here, I had the same problem when I was trying to build something with matplotlib. And I think here I can't run the script at the same time. I have to wait for the execution to finish. That's the problem. But then I can't do it on a loop. So I think what I have to do is find a way to put the files on a CSV, which is probably gonna be easy because list directory, OS list directory is probably the list with the files. So I can create a data frame with that as the input for both the columns and the data. And then I can loop over that CSV programmatically with the schedule module to run the script with a different name every time. But then I still have to figure out how to save it in a different name each time because it's overriding the thing. I also have to think about the zero here. I'm not sure if that's the best way to represent. I think that's the best way actually, because it shows the flow from the bottom to the final file here. Yeah. So I think I will save the ones that I want manually first before I continue this. And then I'll figure out a way to do the script here. But then I need to figure out a way to connect them all together after. It is probably better to think about a better graph first. Then after that, think about how to connect them all together. And maybe this is already good enough to study the file. Maybe it is a waste of time to do this. Not really sure. I think at least this script, I think it should be easy enough that it's probably worth to spend the time in, but to do the other stuff where I'm gonna connect all the graphs might be just a waste of time. Because it might be better off just studying the module itself, which was the goal from the beginning. And I'm also gonna change the name for file name instead of Finder, so it's easy. Final file. Yeah, but I think it might be useful actually to study this because maybe when I build networks, neural networks, I'm gonna try to find a way to connect the network with this graph and show the graphical representation of the network attached to the other graph. Done. I'm not sure if loss is good. Honestly, all of them seem to be worth doing. I think I'm gonna start on this cluster though. think we're gonna close this. File name. So I just pass file name here. And then I'm gonna make it equal to the module thing. Module. Let's see if this works. Oh no, it's not this file. Sklearn dot covariance or compose 2. No, so it didn't work. Oh, I typed the wrong way. File name. Now hopefully it works. Nice. Way better. Yeah, so it seems like it's always gonna be the same, but the difference is only in the file itself. Maybe I should open this file just see. Oh, I should put file name plus string mode to indicate which mode it is. This should work. So let me open this file to see. Yeah, but here it says it is important, this stuff. So for some reason, it's not getting these imports here. Maybe it's because they are relative imports. And it's just getting absolute imports. It also doesn't get these imports here. Maybe it's because of this part here. I might save first and then try to change it. Maybe now it will work if I do it programmatically. Because it's saving each one with a different name. So I'm gonna try to do that. Oh, the only issue is the file name. Mode true. So first I'm gonna see what file name is. And the issue is that I'm getting directories. Is I'm getting files, not directories. Now it works. And now it gets everything. Mm. So maybe will work. Oh, that's the issue there. At least it's working. No. Oh, I need to change this stuff. And it doesn't work. Oh, so take this stuff off. And let's see if it works. This one works. Nice. I think it's gonna work now. Dope. So now if I manage to find a way to connect all of them in one giant graph. So I'm gonna have to study graph Vs, I think. Vs. So I pick up these graphs, these files here. What's the extension? I think it's GV. A GV extension. Why? Dot .gv. You can just look here. I think it's gonna be GV, so I'm gonna put it here. That way, and I still probably I want to find a way also to see how many times files show up in common to show the strength of the connection between them. I think I'm gonna watch videos now because I'm kind of tired of doing this already. There's a bunch of stuff to study. Just gonna wait for this to finish. But this is definitely gonna help me study the library for sure. I might, I think it's gonna be a good idea to also do this for the other libraries. Maybe I can do it for all the libraries that I have. Oh, I can get a list of the libraries there, and I make a list here, and then I loop through the list and make module name equals the list, and then it's gonna do it programmatically for me. I'm gonna check to see if the path changes. because then I can save directly on the path as well, without having to manually put them on each path. I think I'm gonna close this for now as well. Now, nice, it's done. Oh, I don't think the file's saved it the right way. Fuck. Or maybe they did. Yeah, I don't think it worked actually. Because these ones are different than the other ones. Only the cluster one worked. Let me see the neural network one. I'm gonna make a test and run on this one to see if I get the same thing. Underscore network. If it is not the same, yeah, it's not the same. So I imagine this stuff works similar to matplotlib, where it creates a plot, and then if you don't wait for the execution to finish, it overwrites the plot. So you need to find a way to wait for the execution to finish and then start the process again. But that's really annoying to do. So probably I will have to create a pandas data frame to figure out a way to do this thing. Oh, here is neural network. And the other one is different. So maybe it's the file name? But that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't think it's the final name, the problem. So I'm gonna erase the ones I did before. Yeah, it's not worth spending more time on this thing because this is already very good. So maybe I should spend all my time studying this stuff that I don't know yet. And then I will use these files to go over the libraries and study the connection of each of them. I'll have to think about it. I'm gonna do the main ones manually here. Module selection is probably one. Maybe, yeah, I think I should spend the time to do programmatically because then I can have a library folder with a bunch of folders from all the libraries with all the things. Then whenever I wanna check one, I just go to the folder and open up the thing. Sklearn.input. But I still think there's information missing. The thing. I'll do one more, then I'll try something else to see if it changes. I think I'll do linear model. I'm gonna redo this as Sklearn as well because I changed the name of the file. The final file is easier to see there. because I'm probably gonna forget. 0 first. ng. The true. Oh, I should be saving the house. Or whatever. Now I'm gonna try to change this thing here. Oops. Let's see if this changes anything. Yeah, I don't think it changed much. That's pretty much the same thing. So let me think now. I think I'm gonna keep it like this though, because it doesn't hurt. It might add something in some cases. If it breaks, I just take it off. Now I can search how to save a bunch of graph vs files at once. I can close this, close this, close this. Where's the file that I created? Did I delete the file? Fuck. What? What was the name of the file? Maybe I deleted by mistake somehow. Yeah, when I deleted all these files here. Source. Am I insane? What's going on? So it doesn't seem to be here. It can be on the graph lib. It's not finding. Oh, it's here. Yeah, there we go. I should probably change the name of this file. The other thing I was going to check is the file name here to see if I can make a directory. It's probably not going to work, but So it does work. Let me pause this. Delete. Graph. Yeah. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, now the issue is that it's creating a different one for each thing. Because the module is the name of the thing. So I can create a variable there and split the thing. I'm gonna call it module director is equal to module.split. So it's not getting anything. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm done. I'm running with an empty string. I should run like this. And I should break at the first thing. Sklearn. Nice. Now let me get this out of here. The cluster one works. That's probably what's going on. So it's definitely a problem with Gravis. Because the first one works and the other ones don't. But at least now it's creating a folder based on the thing. Then I can create a list with all the libraries that I want to study. and run this, and it's gonna create all the graphs. I just have to figure out how to make it so that graph is stops executing. It's almost 2 hours already, so I might not have time to watch videos. The issue is that if I use a pandas data frame, is the folders is gonna be different for each library. So I'm gonna have to. I need a way to figure out the subfolders. But I guess I can use this thing here, OS list directory, with module name. And then instead of running this, I can create the CSV that way. Then I can create a different folder, a different file that runs the graphs programmatically. I can put this on a try block as well. Because when I have a module that is not a site package, then it's gonna throw an error. So now let me comment this out. Let me print file name. It gives me all the folders. So let me do this here. No, I'm gonna let you create a list here. I'm not sure if this is gonna work because of the 7 columns passed. I thought it would be only 1 column. I can do this here. Columns equals this. And then I can use columns here. Nice. So now I have a data frame with the name of the package, the library on the first, on all the columns, and the first row is the name of all the subfolders. So now what I have to do is make frame, choose CSV, module name, index. I think is index equals false. Oh, but maybe it's better to have the index actually. So I'm just gonna do this and see what happens. Where is this thing? Guess it's this right here. Oh, I forgot to. It is this. I forgot to put .csv here. Yeah, now it works. Nice. So I'm gonna change the name of this to lib to csv. Graph schedule. And import pandas as pd. Import final file. Now the question is, does this work as a data frame? It doesn't work. So let me try the other way around. Oh yeah, of course. I'm dumb. I don't wanna do this. I wanna read the CSV that I have here. Just gonna be module name dot csv. Yeah, now it works. Nice. Oh, so now there's a problem here. So maybe I should set the index to false here. Now let me run this again. And now it works. Because otherwise you have true index there. And it's weird that here is doing dot 29. But whatever. Because it does this automatically when the columns are the same name. So now if I put dot ilock dot I initialize I to 0 here on the columns and print. So now let me put y here, 0, y, cluster, y1, compose. So I don't need this one. Just put 0 here. Cross the code. Nice. So now what I'm gonna do is create another data frame called count. So what I want to do is loop through this file, get all the columns, but I want the file to stop running and only run at certain times. So there's enough time to the execution to stop. And I'm gonna put count I, y. Well, actually, I could just put count here, but I'm gonna make a file, variable here, equals to y, and then y plus equals 1. I put y. This one has to come after. Maybe because I want to make. Let me think. Yeah, I can make y equals length count csv minus 1. I'm gonna print I here. Let's see if this works. Oh, but then it shows 8 there. It's not ideal. Let me see now. It's still showing 8. I don't understand why it's doing that. So maybe I'll make it more simple. Maybe I can do a close here. Strange. Oh, maybe I should just use right here instead. Oh, I forgot to put new line. Empty. But the first time should be... How do I check if a file exists? If count.csv. There's something strange here. It's initializing to 9 for some reason. Some weird reason. Oh, maybe it's the memory thing that I learned from C++. Because the thing doesn't exist, it hits a random number. But now it should be printing the number and not 9. But maybe the variable gets attached to the number. It's still 9. Even though this is completely... Not completely, but it's not the same. It's getting dark here. I think I'm gonna finish today. And it's 2 hours now. Yeah. Right on time. So I'm probably gonna continue this either tomorrow or the day after that. I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna try to get it to work programmatically so I can have a file with all the graphs from one of the libraries that I want to study. But then I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to expand on that or study the libraries with the graphs. And I also have a bunch of topics to study as well, so I might study that before as a priority because there's so many things. So I'm probably gonna watch a bunch of videos about it, about this all the topics, and then I'm gonna study the libraries, and then I will think about it if I do the graphs or not. Because I also need to come back and study C++ later. And ideally, I want to build neural networks modules as well. Yeah, so that's the thing. I'm not sure if the graphs are gonna help me actually with building the networks themselves. So it might be necessary to change the way that these graphs are being made here, because I don't know if they're capturing the information that I want them to capture. It might be nice to do something that captures the classes as well. So I think I'm going to study the imports a lot more, and this is MetaPath a lot more. But yeah, see you then.